So let's look at a restrictive mutator. So the example I gave is age. So thinking about it, negative numbers don't make sense for age because you wouldn't be negative years old. So 0 seems to be our lower bound, right? 0 years old is as young as you can get. That would be a baby. And doing some research, the oldest living person ever verified was 122. So maybe we say the highest age is 125. You could be 125, but not above it. So a good mutator then for age would check the incoming value to make sure it's appropriate, to make sure it's between 0 and 125 inclusive. So here's what that could look like. All it's going to utilize is a conditional, an if statement. So here you can see in my if statement, we're using a, because a is the parameter, the incoming value, that's the thing we want to check. And we just check, is it greater than or equal to 0, and is it less than or equal to 125? So is it within this range? If it is, if we succeed, that's true, we set age to be a. It was an appropriate value. Otherwise, we don't do anything at all. So all of a sudden we have a mutator that doesn't necessarily actually change the value. It can, and it probably often will, but it's possible to just not do anything. Completely silently. It wouldn't even say anything. It would just skip over it. And you could decide maybe I need to print something and have an else print out not an acceptable value, but otherwise you could have it do nothing at all. So here's what this would look like in action. So we make a person, we make me, we print out my age. So we're going to print out 25. First printout is 25. Then we set my age to 26. So when we get my age, we'll print out 26 because 26 is a fine value. Then we try to set age to -5. We know -5 fails this first half. -5 is not greater than or equal to 0. We short circuit evaluate this and we skip the assignment. So the age will not have changed. It will still be 26. And we can see the third print here, still 26. Same problem with 130. 130 is greater than or equal to 0, but 130 is not less than or equal to 125. So we skip it again. And so we still print out the age of 26. Just because we have failed a couple of times, though, doesn't mean you can no longer change the age. So I wanted to give a final example, set it back to normal, undo the problems I've created. And now when I get the age, it prints 25 again. So this is pretty powerful, right? You could set up one of these mutators to be restrictive in whatever way you need, right? If your name can't be less than 3 characters, then you could do an if with the length of the string that's being input or something to that effect. So restrictive mutator methods are interesting. They give you some capabilities and, again, helps keep that data safe. So here, what did we cover? Method information, basic mutator methods, and these restrictive mutator methods. At this point, you're ready to get started. You could go into the initial try, look at that try.md and get started, and I hope you have a great day.